Hi everyone, Namaste. I hope all are doing good. So in the last class we completed P block 13 and 14th group. So whatever the remaining groups are there, we will complete now. So we will start 15th group elements. So we will start 15th group. So 15th group elements are nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth. So these are the 15th group elements. So among these elements, nitrogen and phosphorus are non-metals. Nitrogen and phosphorus are non-metals, whereas arsenic and antimony are metalloids. Whereas bismuth is a metal. So the metallic character top to bottom increases. These two are non-metals, metalloids, and bismuth is a metal. So these are the 15th group elements. Now when we are observing physical properties, atomic radius, so top to bottom increases. Atomic radius top to bottom increases. There is no irregularity in the 15th group. Atomic radius top to bottom increases. Similarly, electronegativity top to bottom decrease. Ionization energy top to bottom decrease. So all these are the periodic properties. Atomic radius increases top to bottom. Electronegativity decreases. Ionization energy decreases. The same thing happens in 15th group elements. Now, another important property here, oxidation state. So in the last class we completed oxidation states of P blocks. So will be small changes due to inert pair effect. So due to inert pair effect, higher oxidation state stability decreases, lower oxidation stability increases. Since we are studying 15th group, the oxidation state of 15th group will be plus 5 because of 5 valence electrons, and they also exhibit minus 3. Since 15 has already 5 electrons of valence, so they can get 3 electrons and easily get octet. So to get octet, it requires 3 electrons. So gaining means negative charge, so losing means positive charge. If it is losing, it has 5 electrons, it can lose 5 electrons, charge will be plus. If it can gain, so 3 electrons can gain for the octet, charge will be minus 3. So these are common oxidation state. So also because of inert pair effect, S electrons does not participate in the bonding. So when 2 electrons are not participated, 3 electrons will be participated, they exhibit plus 3 also. So plus 5, plus 3, minus 3. These are the common oxidation states of 15th group elements. So this plus 5 stability top to bottom decrease, whereas plus 3 stability top to bottom increase. Just D means decrease, I means increase, remember it. Top to bottom decreasing, top to bottom increasing. So this both reason is due to inert pair effect. So because of inert pair effect, higher charge will be decreases, lower charge will be increases top to bottom. Similarly, when we are coming to minus 3, so minus 3 stability is also top to bottom decrease. Why? Because actually nitrogen and phosphorus are non-metals, but bismuth is a metal. So non-metals will show negative charge easily, whereas metals does not show negative charge easily. So that's why negative charge tendency top to bottom decrease due to increasing of metallic nature. So because of metallic nature, negative charge top to bottom decreases. So these are the physical properties. So 15th group elements, physical properties. Another also important property is there, that is electron affinity. Electron affinity, also called electron gain enthalpy. So this electron gain enthalpy in 15, 16, 17 groups. In these 3 groups, it is a very important 15, 16, 17 group. So what is electron affinity? It is opposite to ionization energy. Ionization energy is the energy required to remove electron, whereas electron affinity is the energy released during the addition of electron. When electron is adding on the outer shell, energy will be released, that is electron affinity. So this electron affinity normally up to bottom decreases. But in 15, 16, 17, again I am telling in 15, 16, 17, electron affinity first to second increase, after the remaining will be decrease. So this is most important. So second element, phosphorus will exhibit high electron affinity, not the first element. Actually first element is a small size. It should be expected is nitrogen should be highest electron affinity. But in experimentally, phosphorus will be highest electron affinity. Why? Because nitrogen is a small in size. So due to that, some inter-electronic repulsions will be exist in nitrogen. So not only in nitrogen, telling 15, 16, 17. In any of these three groups, the first element in this group, first element is nitrogen. 16th group, first element is oxygen. 17th group, first element is chlorine. So first element of 15, 16, 17 will exhibit less electron affinity due to small size or due to inter-electronic repulsions. This is most important. Not nitrogen, phosphorus is the highest electron affinity in this 15th group. So this is some physical properties. So now when we are going to chemical properties, first one is the reaction with hydrogen. Reaction with hydrogen. So any 15th group element just representing with letter E combining with hydrogen produce hydride. So what is the formula of hydride? Here E is the 15th group element. This is the hydrogen first group. Among these two, 15th group means what? Nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth. So all these are more electron negativity than the hydrogen. So they will show negative charge. The negative charge will be -3. Hydrogen will show +1. So 1 will come here, 3 will come here. So the formula will be EH3. So that is the hydride of 15th group elements. EH3 is the formula. Now in this E, any element we can place. If you are placing nitrogen, it will form NH3, it will form BH3, ASH3, SBH3, BiH3. So all these are hydrides of 15th group elements. So these hydrides order is the most important. Not for 15th group, either 15, 16, 17. Any of these three groups. Properties of these hydrides are most important. So what are the properties? So these are the hydrides. The first property is stability. The stability of these hydrides up to bottom decrease. Simple, stability is top to bottom decrease. Why? Because when we are observing stability top to bottom, we are observing the nitrogen is small size. Hydrogen is also small size. So in this, the strong bond will be formed. But when you are coming to bismuth, bismuth is a very big size, whereas hydrogen is a small size. So the size ratio is very different. They has very less lattice energy. That's why it is the less stable, and this is the more stable. Stability top to bottom decrease. So that means bismuth hydride is less stable. That means it cannot hold hydrogen. It will lose hydrogens. When it is losing hydrogen, then that property is called reducing or acidic nature. Reducing or acidic. What is reducing means? If anything is donating hydrogen from the central atom, that is called reducing agent. So also since it is donating H plus ions, so that will be acidic nature. So this reducing and acidic nature up to bottom increases. So I already told it is unstable, it loses hydrogen easily, so this will be strong acidic. It holds hydrogen, so does not lose, so it will be weak acidic. So that is the reducing and acidic nature. So stability, reducing, acidic nature. Similarly, another one is the melting point and boiling point. So melting point, boiling point mainly depends on actually atomic mass. So atomic mass is the main basic of melting point, because more the atomic mass, more the van der Waals force of attraction. So more the melting point and boiling point. So top to bottom when we are moving, so atomic mass will be increases. So due to that, melting point, boiling point, top to bottom increases. So it is applicable to all. So top to bottom, melting point also increases, boiling point also increases. But here, so expected is NH3 because of less mass, it should be less melting point and less boiling point. But actually NH3 will exhibit high values of melting and boiling point than the expected. That is due to formation of hydrogen bond. In NH3, hydrogen bond exists. So due to that hydrogen bond, wherever hydrogen bond is there, boiling point will increase, melting point will increase. That's why even though mass is less, but its melting point, boiling point will become high values due to hydrogen bond. So order I am writing. So melting point values, since it is because of hydrogen bond increasing, the least value will be CH3, ASH3, ASH3, SDH3, NH3. So this is order of melting point. So BaH3 does not contain any melting point, only up to SbH3. And boiling point, same PH3 will be least, ASH3. After that, NH3 will come, SbH3, BiH3. So this is order of boiling point. This is order of melting point. So NH3 actually here, so it should be the least value due to less mass, but is becoming highest value in melting point and third highest in boiling point. So the reason is due to presence of hydrogen bond. So orders also important. Sometimes they will ask orders. Stability order, reducing acidic nature, melting point, boiling point. Another important property is bond angle. Bond angle. So bond angle directly proportional to electronegativity. Here all are same group, so only depends on electronegativity. So electronegativity top to bottom decreases, so that's why bond angle will be decreases. So bond angles top to bottom decreases. NH3 is the high bond angle, BiH3 is the low bond angle. So write that order also, bond angle top to bottom decreases. So these are the properties of hydrides of 15th group. Similarly, when we are observing, next one is reaction with oxygen. So 15th group when combines with oxygen, among these two, oxygen is more electronegative, it will show negative charge and it will show positive. Positive means plus 5, and also due to inert pair effect, plus 3 is also there. The formula will be, if it is forming 5, 5 will come this side, 2 will come this side, it will form E2O5. Whereas it will form 3 and 2, it will form E2O3. So pentoxide and trioxides normally E2O5 and E2O3. So mostly all pentoxides are acidic in nature, nitrogen oxides or phosphorus oxide, whatever, all pentoxides are acidic in nature. But among trioxides, so all pentoxides are acidic in nature. Among trioxides, N2O3, P2O3. So these two are acidic in nature, whereas AS2O3, Sb2O3 are amphoteric in nature, whereas Bi2O3 will be basic in nature. This is important. Nitrogen oxide and phosphorus trioxides will be acidic, arsenic and antimony oxides are amphoteric, bismuth oxide is basic. But in pentoxides mostly all are acidic in nature. So this is about oxides. So sometimes they will ask about structures of P4O6 and P4O10. Because in sometimes they will give how many number of sigma bonds are present in P4O6 or in P4O10. So how to identify? So P4O6 structure. So P4O6 is nothing but dioxide structure. E2O3 dimer will be E2O6, E4O6. So this is P4O6. Structure should be like this. So this is the structure of P4O6. Similarly in P4O10, so that is also similar structure, only small difference is there. Here in each phosphorus double bond oxygen is present. So this is the P4O10. This is the P4O6. So sometimes they will ask how many number of sigma bonds, how many number of pi bonds are present. So this you have to count the number of sigma bonds and number of pi bonds. How you know? If single bond is there, that is sigma bond. Double bond is there, one sigma and one pi bond. So don't forget it. So these two are structures of P4O6 and P4O10. So practice these structures. So that is reaction with oxygen. Similarly, the third one reaction is reaction with halogen. The third reaction is reaction with halogen. So 15th group elements when combines with halogen, halogen again more electronegative, it will show negative charge, and 15th group will show positive charge, +5 and +3. So the formula will be trihalides and pentahalides. EX3 and EX5. So these two are possible. 3 is coming this side, EX3, 5 is coming this side, EX5. Trihalide and pentahalide. So among these trihalides and pentahalides, remember pentahalides are more covalent because here charge will be +5, charge will be +3. Higher the cationic charge, more covalent nature, that is according to Fajans rule. In chemical bonding topic, Fajans rule will be there. More charge, more the whatever the covalent nature. So these are pentahalides are more covalent, trihalides are less covalent. So in pentahalides, nitrogen does not form pentahalides. Among these pentahalides, we can form PX5, AXX5, SBX5, whereas BIX5 also possible. But however, this is because of inert wear effect, it is always converted to BiX3. But whatever, it is possible. But nitrogen pentahalide does not possible. Why? Because I already told nitrogen is the first element. Every group first element will form maximum 4 bonds because of its covalency will be 4. So that's why nitrogen does not form 5th bond. Only it can form 4 bonds. That's why nitrogen can form trihalide but does not form pentahalides. This is most important due to absence of d orbitals. So among these halides, when you are absorbing phosphorus pentachloride, so for TCl5, so in gaseous state, so it should be sp3d hybridization, and whereas trigonal bipyramidal geometry. Phosphorus pentachloride, any pentahalides when you are observing in gaseous state, they will form sp3d hybridization, trigonal bipyramidal geometry. But if it is converted to solid state, so these PCl5 molecules, 2 molecules will combine in solid state, converted to PCl4 plus PCl6 minus. So in solid state, existing in ionic form PCl4 plus and PCl6 minus. So this will be tetrahedral and this will be octahedral. So in gaseous state, PCl5 is sp3d hybridization, trigonal bipyramidal geometry. But in solid state, it has 2 structures, tetrahedral also, octahedral also. So this is most important. In solid state, it is converted to ionic compound, PCl4 plus, PCl6 minus. So all these are the chemical properties of 15th group with hydrogen, with oxygen, with halogen. So among some important one is allotropes. Allotropes also important. So in 15th group we study phosphorus allotropes. Phosphorus exists in 3 allotropic forms mostly, that is white, red and black. So white phosphorus, red phosphorus and black phosphorus. So white phosphorus, red phosphorus, black phosphorus. So white phosphorus can be converted to red phosphorus at 573 Kelvin. Red phosphorus can be converted to black phosphorus at 803 Kelvin. Actually black phosphorus is 2 types, alpha black also there and also beta black also there. So alpha black is formed by red phosphorus on heating at 803 Kelvin, whereas white phosphorus directly converted to beta black by heating at 473 Kelvin and also high pressure. So these are the some temperatures which convert one form of phosphorus into another form. But temperatures are not important. So white phosphorus, red phosphorus and black phosphorus, 3 types of allotropes of phosphorus. Among these 3 forms, white phosphorus is highly unstable. It is a very highly reactive. It is least stable. So why? Because white phosphorus exists in P4 molecule. Its structure should be like this. So this is the P4 structure. So here the bond angle between the 2 bonds will be very low, that is nearly 60 degree. So because of low bond angle, there exists bond pair repulsions. So due to that repulsions, this is a unstable, it is a highly reactive. So it is a highly reactive and it is a poisonous in nature. And it will show chemiluminescence. So chemiluminescence means, so in night time white phosphorus will glow. So why? Because it undergo oxidation with oxygen in the atmosphere, so converted to phosphorus oxides. So this is exothermic reaction and release heat energy. So that's why observing of light will be takes place. That is called chemiluminescence. So best example in the night time. So we will watch glowworms. So glowworms also glow. That is also due to white phosphorus. So they release white phosphorus that will undergo oxidation in the atmosphere and they will show glow. So that is a chemiluminescence. And it is insoluble in water, but soluble in CS2, carbon disulfide. So these are the 4 properties. It is a highly reactive, poisonous in nature, it will show chemiluminescence, insoluble in water but soluble in carbon disulfide organic solvent. So if white phosphorus we are heating, we are getting red phosphorus. On heating at this temperature, actually this bond will break. When bond is broken, it will form a linear chain structure like this. So here this bond, but this bond is broken, this bond is broken. So between these 2, formation of bond will be possible. So like this, a linear polymer will form. So this is the red phosphorus. So in red phosphorus, actually bond angle will be more. In bond angle will be more, repulsions will be less, stability is high. So this is a highly reactive, this is the less reactive. Whereas black is the least reactive. So black is the most stable, it is the least reactive. But don't ask about any question does not ask about black phosphorus, only white and red. So red phosphorus properties. It is less reactive, non-poisonous, does not show chemiluminescence. It is insoluble in both water also, CS2 also. That is the property of whatever the red phosphorus. So these 2 are important. This is allotropes of phosphorus. So like that, in the ethane group, another most important property will be oxoacids of phosphorus. Oxo acids of phosphorus. So first of all, we know acid. What is oxo acid is? Say this HCl is an acid. H2SO4 is also acid. So H2SO4 we can call oxo acid, whereas HCl we cannot call oxo acid. So what is meant by oxo acid means if any acid which contains at least one OH group, at least one OH group is present in the acid, then that acid is called oxo acid. So we are studying oxo acids of phosphorus. So phosphorus exhibit mainly two types of oxo acids. So before oxo acids, I will give one definition. Sometimes you have to learn about what is meant by hypo, meta, pyro, peroxo. So this is important. Hypo means loss of oxygen. Remember, wherever hypo is coming, which means loss of oxygen. So we have to remove oxygen. Meta means loss of water from one molecule. From one molecule, when you are removing water, then the remaining product is called meta. Hypo means after losing oxygen, the product is called hypo. After losing water from one molecule, the product is called meta. Pyro means loss of H2O from two molecules. From two molecules we are removing water, that is called pyro. From one molecule we are removing water, that is called meta. Similarly, the last one is peroxo. Peroxo means addition of oxygen. Removal of oxygen is hypo, addition of oxygen is peroxo. From one molecule water removal is meta, from two molecules water removal is pyro. So these four statements just remember, so it will be easy for the oxo acid study. So these are the important points. Now oxo acids of phosphorus. Phosphorus exhibit two types of oxo acids. Phosphorus exhibit two types of oxo acid. That is orthophosphorus, formula H3PO3, which is also called phosphonic acid, and the second one is orthophosphoric acid. In bracket formula will be H3PO4. So these are the two main acids of phosphorus: orthophosphorus, orthophosphoric. It is H3PO3, H3PO4. So the structures are most important. How to write these structures is, whenever we are writing structures of oxo acid, so just simple in mind. First we write central atom. Here the central atom will be phosphorus. Along with central atom we always write one double bond oxygen. So double bond oxygen, central atom with double bond oxygen. Remaining we have to write in OH form. Here one oxygen is the double bond, remaining two oxygens are there. That means possibility of two OH groups. And one extra hydrogen is present. That is the structure of orthophosphorus, also called phosphonic acid. So write this structure. Central atom will be phosphorus, double bond oxygen. Again 3 oxygen is present. So we can write 3 OH group. So this is the structure of orthophosphoric acid. Here 3 OH group, here 2 OH group. So since they contains 2 OH group, it is called dibasic acid. So how many OHs are present? That is called basicity. So it is a dibasic acid. Since it has 3 OH group, it is called tribasic acid. Also it has central atom has hydrogen. So wherever central atom has hydrogen, that is called reducing agent. In hydrates I explained. So this is a pH bond. That is a reducing agent. But here there is no pH bond. It is non-reducing. So property is most important. Which is reducing, which is non-reducing, which is tribasic, which is dibasic, monobasic. Any question types of will be asked. So these are the oxo acids. Now, so these two formulas just we have to remember. remaining whatever the formulas are there, they will come automatically. So suppose the question is asking about hypophosphorus. Hypophosphorus acid, which is also called actually phosphenic acid. So this formula we have to identify hypophosphorus. So phosphorus formula H3PO3, but asking about hypophosphorus. What is meant by hypo? Hypo means loss of oxygen. If from this phosphorus, if you are removing oxygen, then the product is called hypo. So here three options. So one option is on removing, we get H3PO2. This is the hypophosphorus acid formula. So you can write this structure: central atom, double bond oxygen, only one oxygen remaining, one OH group, remaining two hydrogens attached to central atom. Since only one OH, it is monobasic acid. So that is about hypophosphorus. Similarly, the question is asking about metaphosphoric. Meta means removal of water from one molecule. Phosphoric. So this is the phosphoric formula H3PO4. One water we are removing. Water means H2O. Two hydrogen and one oxygen we have to remove. So what is the remaining? One hydrogen, one phosphorus, three oxygens. That is the metaphosphoric acid formula. So like that, any formula is given, so we can write. Only we have to remember first important formulas, phosphorus and phosphoric. Remaining whatever is there, they will come automatically. Just remember four statements. Hypo means loss of oxygen. Meta means loss of water from one molecule. Pyro means loss of water from two molecules. Oxo means addition of oxygen. So these are the oxo acids of phosphorus. Practice the structures. We will start the next group. The next group will be 16th group. So the elements of 16th group will be oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium. So actually polonium is a radioactive element. So radioactive elements we study separately. Actually that is called nuclear chemistry. So only we study from oxygen to tellurium. Oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium. So as usual, atomic radius, top to bottom increase. Electronegativity, top to bottom decrease. Ionization energy, top to bottom decrease. Also electron affinity, first to second increase, remaining decrease. I already told. Second element always exhibit high electron affinity due to small size of first element or due to inter-electronic repulsions. In which group it is applicable? 15, 16, 17. In these three groups, first element will show less electron affinity than the second element. So highest will be sulfur, second will be oxygen. Now that is electron affinity. As usual, oxidation state. 16th group normally they will show +6. Because of inert pair effect, they will also show +4. Also they will show +2, also -2. So these are the common oxidation states of 16th group elements. Just practice this physical properties, very easy. All are regular order except electron affinity. Electron affinity order changes in 15, 16, 17th group. So now when you are writing chemical properties, in chemical properties, first one is reaction with hydrogen. Reaction with hydrogen. So 16th group elements combines with hydrogen. The formula will be EH2. Why EH2? With the 16th group more electronegative, it will be less electronegative. Charge will be plus, charge will be negative. Negative means -2. -2 will come this side, 1 will come here. EH2 is the formula. So here EH2 can be oxygen is present, it will form H2O, sulfur H2S, H2Se, H2Te. So these are hydrides of 16th group elements. Among these hydrides, same properties like stability, top to bottom, decrease, acidic and reducing property, top to bottom, increase. Same like 15th group hydrides, top to bottom size increasing, and size increasing, so lattice energy will be decreases, so stability decreases, acidic and reducing effect will be increases. So melting point and boiling point, top to bottom increases because of mass. So least expected will be H2O, but H2O will exhibit highest value, that is due to presence of hydrogen bonding in water. In remaining, hydrogen bonding does not exist. In which molecule hydrogen bond exists? Already know, chlorine, oxygen and nitrogen. If they are attached to hydrogen, so they can form hydrogen bond. So your hydrogen bond, because of that, melting point, boiling point will be highest. So writing order, melting point and boiling point order, both are same order. Least will be H2S, H2Se, H2Te, and highest will be water. H2S, H2Se, H2Te, water will be highest in both melting point also, boiling point also due to hydrogen bond. So these are the properties. Also bond angle. The bond angle top to bottom decreases due to decreasing of electronegativity. So this property is most important. Hydrides question compulsory they will ask mostly either from 15, 16 or from 17. So that is reaction with hydrogen. So same like reaction with oxygen. Reaction with oxygen. So 16th group elements when combined with oxygen, they will form EO2 and EO3, dioxide and trioxide. Why? Because here E can be sulfur, selenium, tellurium. I am not taking oxygen. Oxygen will form oxygen, nothing but. So sulfur, selenium, tellurium. So any of these 16th group combines with oxygen forms dioxide and trioxide. Because oxygen will be more electronegative and these three will be less electronegative, they will show +6 also and also show +4 due to inert pair effect. Normally +6 or +4 it will show. If it is showing +4, dioxide will form. Showing +6, trioxides will form. All trioxides are acidic in nature. All trioxides all are acidic in nature. In dioxides, some nature will be changed. So oxides. So actually on right we are studying 16th group. 16th group contain oxygen. So oxygen will combine with any other compound. The product is called oxide. There are different types of oxides: acidic oxides, basic oxide, neutral oxides, amphoteric oxides. So these are most important. Remember, acidic oxides mostly by non-metals. So from P block element, when we are forming oxides, they will form acidic oxides. Example: acidic oxides, nitrogen oxide, sulfur dioxide, sulfur trioxide. So not only these non-metals, if transition metal has some high charge oxides like vanadium pentoxide, Mn2O7, these are also will become acidic. So these are actually not non-metals, these are metals, but here oxidation state is become high. Because of high oxidation state, some metal oxides also will be acidic. So some non-metal oxides, some high metal oxides, acidic in nature. So basics normally formed by S block elements and D block elements mostly, they will form basic oxides. So important is amphoteric. Amphoteric oxides examples: Al2O3, zinc oxide, PbO, PbO2, SnO, SnO2, such types. So these are amphoteric oxides which contains both acidic as well as basic nature. Another important is neutral oxides also there. Some examples: carbon monoxide, nitrogen monoxide, nitrous oxide. So these three are neutral oxides. So neutral and amphoteric are important. Just remember these two. Amphoteric means it will combine with both. Neutral means does not combine with anything. So those are called neutral oxides. So these are the chemical properties. Remaining properties are not necessary. So what is important in the 16th group also? Here also we will study oxo acids. Like in nitrogen group we study oxo acids of phosphorus. In 16th group also we will study oxo acids of sulfur. Right? They will exhibit sulfurous acid formula H2SO3 and sulfuric acid H2SO4. So you can write these structures. Already told how to write. Take this, suppose central atom will be sulfur along with double bond oxygen. So remaining we have to write in OH form. So remaining two oxygens we get two OH forms. So this is the sulfurous. Sulfuric, sulfur central, double bond oxygen. Only two H's are possible. OH. Extra oxygen is there. So extra oxygen must be in the double bond form. That is the sulfuric acid. So like that, any sulfuric we can write. So what is the formula of pyrosulfuric? Pyrosulfuric gas, which is also called oleum. Pyrosulfuric, oleum. So pyro means I already told, removal of water from two molecules. Sulfuric means H2SO4. From two H2SO4 molecules, if we are removing water, so what is the remaining? In 4 hydrogens, 2 is lost. Remaining is 2. 2 sulfur atoms are there. Among 8 oxygen, 1 is lost. O7. So this is the H2SO7. It's called oleum, also called pyrosulfuric acid. We can write this structure also. So structures, names, formulas, all are important. These oxo acids we have to just practice this. So whatever the doubt you are having about any oxo acids, you can ask. So this is about 16th group. Similarly, 17th group. 17th group elements: chlorine, bromine, iodine, ester type, but it is a radioactive element, so we can neglect it. Chlorine, bromine, iodine. These are the 17th group. So chlorine, both are exist in gas form. Bromine will exist in liquid form. Iodine will exist in solid form. Always exist in diatomic form. These two are gases. It is liquid. It is solid. So this group has all three states of matter: solids, gas, and liquid. So now, as usual, atomic radius top to bottom increase, electronegativity top to bottom decrease, ionization energy top to bottom decrease, electron affinity first to second increase, remaining will be decrease. So chlorine will be highest electron affinity. So next chlorine will come. So electron affinity most important. 15, 16, 17. Number of times I am told. In 15, 16, 17, second element will be greater than the first element due to small size of first element. Now, when you are going to other properties, important properties, sometimes they will ask oxidizing nature. So top to bottom decreases. Chlorine is the strong oxidizing agent. It can oxidize any molecule. So strong oxidizing, iodine is the weak oxidizing. Also sometimes they ask bond dissociation enthalpy. Bond dissociation enthalpy. So what is bond dissociation enthalpy? Means it is all of these are diatomic. Chlorine F bond F, chlorine, Cl bond Cl, Br bond Br. So to break this bond, how much energy is required? That is called bond dissociation enthalpy. When we are moving top to bottom, length is increasing because size is increasing, length is increasing, and bond length increasing. So attraction will decreases. Required energy to break will be less. So top to bottom, bond dissociation energy will be decreases. So expected will be fluorine has high bond energy, but actually even fluorine is also have less bond energy because fluorine is even very small. Because of this small, between these two atoms some electronic repulsions also there. So due to this, less energy is required to break. So that's why bond dissociation energy order. I am writing here. Chlorine is highest bond dissociation, after that bromine, after that chlorine, iodine. This is the bond dissociation energy order. Important. So these are physical properties. Similarly, we are going to chemical properties. Oxidation state. The common oxidation states of halogen -1, +1, +3, +5, +7. So these are the oxidation states. What are odd numbers? 1, 3, 5, 7. So halogens. So depends upon number of unpaired electrons. They can form 7 bonds, 5 bonds, 3 bonds, 1 bond. Charge will be -1 also, +1 also. When you are observing fluorine, so fluorine only show -1, does not show positive. Why? Because it is the highest electronegativity, mostly will show negative charge, does not show any positive charge. Whereas remaining halogens, they will show positive also, they will show negative also. So here also same, when you are observing chemical properties, one is the reaction with oxygen, another is the reaction with halogen. First we are combining with hydrogen. So halogen representation will be X combines with hydrogen, also X2 we can write, so 2 moles of HX. This is the hydrogen halide. In remaining we are calling as hydrides, 15 group, 16 group, but in 17th group we are calling as hydrogen halides because halogen is highly electronegative, we always call halide, not hydride. So here it can be HF, it can be HCl, it can be HBr, it can be HI. So these are the hydrogen halides of 17th group. So all we know stability up to bottom, yes, definitely decreases. All properties of same 15th group, 16th group and 17th group. Acidic and reducing top to bottom, increase. So acidic character top to bottom increases. Generally what we know among these, HCl is a very strong acid, but actually HI is a strong acid. Acidic character top to bottom increasing. Because of weak size of iodine, it loses hydrogen more easily than the other. So that's why HI is a strong acid even than HCl. So top to bottom acidicness will be increases. So same about melting point and boiling point. HF has hydrogen bond, all we know. So because of hydrogen bond, its boiling point, melting point will become high values. Remaining top to bottom increases. So the order will be melting point order. HCl will be this. HBr, again HC, HF, highest will be HI. HF is the second highest due to hydrogen bond. In boiling point, HCl, HBr, HI and HF. HF is the highest due to hydrogen bond. Here second highest in melting point, highest value in boiling point. So orders we have to remember. So why it is the second, why it is the first? Actually that is depends upon nature. But when compared with least value, it is becoming high value. That is due to hydrogen bond. So boiling point values, melting point values are different values. So we cannot compare them. But among these two values, HF is becoming more value. That is due to hydrogen bond. But why it is highest? Why it is second highest? So that we cannot explain. That is depends on strength of the hydrogen bond. So this is reaction with hydrogen. So similarly, another important here, reaction with halogen. Halogens are combining. So how halogens are combined? Chlorine. So chlorine when we are combining, again we get chlorine, nothing other. So here halogen combination means, so two different halogens we are combining. Suppose chlorine and chlorine, or chlorine and bromine, or bromine or iodine. So when two different halogens are combining, so that is the reaction with halogen. So to represent this, both are representing with X. So that's why one we are representing with X dash. So one is a different halogen, this is different halogen. Here X is, remember, big size halogen, X dash is the small size. For easy understanding, X is big size, X dash is the small size. So you tell among this big size and small size, this will be more electronegative. So definitely small size will be more electronegative. So they will show negative charge, negative charge will be -1. Whereas big size will show positive charge. Positive means +1 also there, +3, +5, +7. So big size halogen, small size halogens are combining. Small size will exhibit negative -1. Big size can possible, +1 also possible, +3, +5, +7. Suppose it is showing 1, it is also showing 1. The formula will be X dash. If it is showing 3, the formula will be X dash 3, X dash 5, and X dash 7. X dash 3, X dash 5, and X dash 7. So all these we are calling as interhalogen compounds. So this is most important. Interhalogen compounds are 4 types: XX dash, XX3 dash, XX5 dash, XX7 dash. So X dash is small, X is the big size halogen. So two different halogens and they are combining, they form interhalogen compounds. For example, X dash we are taking. So these two are different halogens. This is a interhalogen. X2, this is nothing but halogen. F2Cl2, this is halogen. Among these two, interhalogens are highly reactive. The reactivity order, interhalogens are more reactive than the pure halogens. Why? Because here one is the more electronegative, one is the less electronegative. So bond will be shifted towards more electronegative, partial negative, partial positive. So this is a polar in nature. Here both are same. This will be non-polar. So interhalogens are polar. That's why they are highly reactive when compared with non-polar pure halogen compounds. This is most important. Why interhalogens are more reactive than halogen? Due to polar nature. There are 4 types of interhalogen. So X dash. So only one bond is there. That always linear. So we have to calculate these states of this XX3, XX5, XX7. We can use hybridization. I think all you know hybridization. How to calculate? Suppose we are writing XX3 dash. What is the shape of XX3 dash molecule? X is also halogen central atom. Valence electrons of central atom will be 7. Because halogens are 7 valence electrons. Remaining monovalent atoms. Halogen again monovalent atom. There are 3 monovalent atoms. By 2 it will be 5 sp3d. So sp3d means trigonal bipyramidal. It should be like this. This is the geometry. So when you are writing central atom has big size halogen and surrounded atoms are small size X dash, X dash, X dash, X dash. Here no atom means lone pair. So 2 lone pair, 3 bond pairs in X3 dash molecule. So your shape is called T shape because it is similar to T shape. So lone pair does not form any bond. So bonds are this, the exhibit shape T shape. So like that any molecules we can calculate. So use practice hybridization. So one question compulsory will come in the NEET exam from the chemical bonding topic also, and from the P block topic also. Shapes they will ask. So that is the most important, hybridization. So these are the interhalogen compounds. So these interhalogen compounds undergo hydrolysis. For example, X dash, X3 dash, X5 dash, X7 dash. All are interhalogen compounds. They will combine with water. They will combine with 1 water, combines with 2 water, combines with 3 water, combines with 4 water molecules. On hydrolysis, small size halogen more electronegative, it will take H plus, formation of HX. The 3 small size are there, it will take 3 H plus, form 3 HX dash. It will form 5 HX dash. It will form 7 HX dash. Simple. Small size means more electronegative. They will attract H plus ions, formation of hydrogen halides by small size halogen. Small size halogen forms hydrogen halides. Whereas big size halogens will combine with remaining. Here H is gone, remaining is OH. OH and X will form HXO. Here HO2 is present. So HXO2. HXO3, HXO4. All these are called oxoacids of halogens. HXO, HXO2, HXO3, HXO4. So HXO2 is called hallous acid, O3 is called halic acid. It is hallous, it is halic. Here oxygen is less, it is called hypohallous. Here oxygen is extra, it is called perhalic. Just these two you have to remember, hallous and halic, hypohallous, perhalic. So what is meant by hallous means, if here chlorine is there, we call chlorous acid, chloric acid. Bromine is there, bromous, this will be bromic, like that. Hypochlorous, hypobromous, perchloric, perbromic, like that. Total oxoacids are possible. So oxoacid structures when we are writing, all you know the how to write the structures. H in place of X, suppose I am writing Cl, HClO, HClO2, HClO3, HClO4. Hypochlorous acid, chlorous acid, chloric acid, perchloric acid. So when you are writing structure, central atom will be Cl. So we must write double bond oxygen. But if you are writing double bond oxygen, there is no OH group. Oxoacid means at least contain one OH group. So without writing double bond oxygen, directly I am writing OH group. So that is the ClOH. That is the structure. In here Cl central atom, double bond oxygen, one OH will be present. Cl double bond oxygen. Here also one OH is there, extra oxygen is there. So we can write double bond oxygen. Cl double bond OH, extra 2 double bonds are there. So these are the structures of oxoacids of halogen. Halogen can be any they give, either bromine or iodine, whatever. So important thing is here, acidic character of these oxoacids. Remember, HClO, HClO2, HClO3, HClO4. So this is the order of acidic strength. Perhalics are strong acids when compared with remaining. So this is order of acidic nature. So that is about 17th group. So some important compounds are there. Just all the compounds you have to practice. So I will send some material. Some equations are there. Important equations. So practice the equations. Also just practice the 18th group. So 18th groups are very simple. That is the noble gases. So some uses of noble gas and some preparations of noble gas compounds. So these reactions are important. I will send material. So practice that material. Also solve the assignment questions. So thank you very much.